ಭಾರತದ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ಗಗನಯಾತ್ರಿ ಶುಭಾಂಶು ಶುಕ್ಲಾ ಅವರ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಸಮಾರಂಭದ ತುಣುಕುಗಳು ನಿಮಗಾಗಿ. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ನೆಹರು ತಾರಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ಜುಲೈ 4ರಂದು ಗಗನಯಾತ್ರಿ ಶುಭಾಂಶು ಶುಕ್ಲಾ ಅವರ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಸಮಾರಂಭ ನಡೆಯಿತು. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ವರದಿಗೂ ಮುನ್ನ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ಗಗನಯಾತ್ರಿ ಶುಭಾಂಶು ಶುಕ್ಲಾ ಅವರ ಕಿರು ಪರಿಚಯ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಟನ್ ಶುಭಾಂಶು ಶುಕ್ಲಾ ಅವರು ಭಾರತೀಯ ವಾಯುಪಡೆ ಐಎಎಫ್ ಫೈಟರ್ ಪೈಲಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಗಗನಯಾತ್ರಿಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದು, ಅವರು ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಬಾಹ್ಯಾಕಾಶ ನಿಲ್ದಾಣಕ್ಕೆ ಭೇಟಿ ನೀಡಿದ ಮೊದಲ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಹಾಗೂ ರಾಕೇಶ್ ಶರ್ಮಾ ನಂತರ ಬಾಹ್ಯಾಕಾಶಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯಾಣಿಸಿದ 2ನೇ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಎಂಬ ಹೆಗ್ಗಳಿಕೆಗೆ ಪಾತ್ರರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಭಾರತದ ಬಾಹ್ಯಾಕಾಶ ಮಹತ್ವಾಕಾಂಕ್ಷಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಮುಖ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದ ಶುಕ್ಲಾ ಜೂನ್ 2025ರಲ್ಲಿ ಐತಿಹಾಸಿಕ ಆಕ್ಸಿಯಂ ಮಿಷನ್ 4ರಲ್ಲಿ ಪೈಲಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರು. ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ರಕ್ಷಣಾ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿ ಪದವೀಧರರಾದ ಅವರು 2006ರಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾರತೀಯ ವಾಯುಪಡೆಗೆ ನಿಯೋಜನೆಗೊಂಡರು. ಪರೀಕ್ಷಾ ಪೈಲಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೇವೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿದರು. 2019ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರನ್ನು ಗಗನಯಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಇಸ್ರೋ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಗಗನಯಾತ್ರಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿತು. ಶುಕ್ಲಾ ಅವರು ಜೂನ್ 2025ರ ಆಕ್ಸಿಯಂ 4 ಮಿಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪೈಲಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೇವೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿದರು. 18 ದಿನಗಳ ಐಎಸ್ಎಸ್ ವಾಸ್ತವ್ಯದ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಗ್ರಾವಿಟಿ ಪ್ರಯೋಗಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಶುಕ್ಲಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅಶೋಕ ಚಕ್ರ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ನೀಡಿ ಗೌರವಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಭಾರತದ ಒಬ್ಬ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ಗಗನಯಾತ್ರಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಅನುಭವಗಳನ್ನು ಪುಸ್ತಕದ ಪುಟಗಳನ್ನಾಗಿಸಿ ಲೋಕಾರ್ಪಣೆಗೊಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ನೆಹರು ತಾರಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಲೋಕಾರ್ಪಣೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ವರದಿ ನಿಮಗಾಗಿ. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಯಾಗಿ ಕೀರ್ತಿ ಚಕ್ರ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಪುರಸ್ಕೃತರಾದ ರವೀಶ್ ಮಲ್ಹೋತ್ರಾ, ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಕೆ ವಿಜಯ್ ರಾಘವನ್, ಇಸ್ರೋ ಮಾಜಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದ ಎಎಸ್ ಕಿರಣ್ ಕುಮಾರ್, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಸ್ ಸೋಮನಾಥ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಏರ್ ಮಾರ್ಷಲ್ ಎಸ್ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಜವಾಹರಲಾಲ್ ನೆಹರು ತಾರಾಲಯದ ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿಆರ್ ಗುರುಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತರಿದ್ದರು. ತಮ್ಮದೇ ಆದ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಸಮಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದ ಶುಭಾಂಶು ಶುಕ್ಲಾ ಅವರು, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ಸಾಧನೆ ತರಗತಿಯ ಕೋಣೆಯಿಂದಲೇ ಆರಂಭವಾಗುವುದು ಎಂದು ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಮುಂಬರುವ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮದೇ ಬಾಹ್ಯಾಕಾಶ ನೌಕೆ ಭಾರತದ ಮಣ್ಣಿನಿಂದಲೇ ಮಿಷನ್ ಗಗನಯಾನ ಆರಂಭವಾಗಲಿದೆ ಎಂದು ಅವರು ತಿಳಿಸಿದರು.
We were having a conversation before coming here, and obviously I have been asked that what motivated you to write the book, why did you write the book, and how did you write this, and all these questions come. But I would like to share something that I did not think that I will write a book when I landed back in India, but then I realized very soon that it is not possible for me to reach everywhere to share this story. So probably this is going to be a good way to share this. And when I started writing it, I realized that a lot of memory that I have from the mission would probably not be there, several years down the line. So I will share something that I've written in the book, but how funny space is. It's very serious business. You are launching someone to a place where life should not exist, but it is also very funny. So when we were launching and we got into the space, into the orbit, before we docked to the station, there is some time. We had about 22 hours when we could sleep. So I changed out of the spacesuit. I wore all my clothes because the Crew Dragon is really cold. And then we wanted to sleep. So now there is no bed in space, right? There is no nominated place where you can sleep. You can sleep anywhere, on the seat, below the seat, on the wall, on the ceiling, wherever you want. So everybody decided. Two of my crew members, they sat on the seat, they strapped themselves, and they were sleeping on the seat. I did not find that comfortable. I thought that there should be some kind of pressure on your body. That is what you're used to on Earth. So I decided to go below the seat and wedge myself between the pallets and the seat. And I was feeling cold. So you had this huge suit bag inside which your space suits are stored. So that bag was kept. It is a black colored bag. So I was feeling cold. I thought that there seems to be some space. I opened the bag. I put my legs inside the bag. And then I find that there is more space. Space actually creates a lot of space because you are fluid, the movement is fluid. So I kept going inside, and I realized that till my shoulders almost, I was inside the bag. And I slept comfortably. I slept on. Later, I came to know that the rest of the crew members, after a few hours, they woke up one by one, and they decided to have a meal. And then they said, okay, let's wake up Shooks. And they couldn't find me. What had happened was that while I was inside that bag, my head was outside, but over a period of time when I was sleeping, I drifted and my head went to the rear of the capsule, completely one corner. And so when you look at from the outside, you see 4 bags, you see 3 crew. So that was a mystery for some time. How can we lose someone in space in that short volume of capsule? Stories like this. So I've tried to capture that in the book. But what I've also tried to highlight is all such stories, not just mine. All the dignitaries you see sitting on the stage are extremely successful in what they have achieved in life. But I am very confident, and I think I can speak on their behalf, that all of their stories also started in a classroom, somewhere in the country, like where you are sitting today. So we had a first orbit in 1984, when Rakesh sir had gone to space. Ravi sir, who is sitting us with here today, was accompanying him at that time in Russia. And the second orbit happened last year when I traveled to space, and Papa sir, who was sitting here with me on stage, was there with me in US. And I hope and wish that very soon we have our third orbit, fourth orbit, fifth orbit, and sixth orbit, and so much so that we stop counting them. That is where we should reach as soon as possible. And this time around, it will be from our own rocket, our own spacecraft, our own soil, through Mission Gaganyaan.
ಈ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಕೇವಲ ಬಾಹ್ಯಾಕಾಶ ಮಿಷನ್ಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸೀಮಿತವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ತರಗತಿಯ ಕೋಣೆಯಿಂದ ಬಾಹ್ಯಾಕಾಶದ ಹೊರಗಿನ ಪ್ರಯಾಣದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡುವ ಪುಸ್ತಕವಾಗಿದೆ ಎಂದು ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯಪಟ್ಟರು. ಇದೇ ವೇಳೆ ಅಂತರಿಕ್ಷದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಅನುಭವವನ್ನು ಹಂಚಿಕೊಂಡ ಗಗನಯಾತ್ರಿ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ಬಿ ನಾಯರ್, ಇಂದಿನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಕೃತಕ ಬುದ್ಧಿಮತ್ತೆಯಿಂದ ತಾಯಿ ಮಾಡುವ ಅಡುಗೆಯ ರುಚಿಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಲು ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ ಎಂದು ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯಪಟ್ಟರು.
So you all are already astronauts and cosmonauts. I know there's a lot of pressure for all of you kids right now, especially with AI, But remember one thing, no AI can ever get the feeling of your mother's sambar or your mother's dal. Impossible. Think about this very deeply. Right now I'm talking one input, but each and every one of you are getting a different output in your mind, and that cannot go into any algorithm. That is why you'll continue to be part of this. And in this photograph also, there is the earth, which is full of life. Then there is a machine in between, that is a frame of the cupola. And then there is a human being this side, that is Shooks, which is basically giving a very symbolic thing that it is human experience, is the entire team down there on earth, plus your feeling of being up there in between this machine, the human, that is Shooks out there. That makes this entire experience worth sharing, and that's the reason you are here. Never ever forget that. You bring into this the entire flavor and spice. So because the children I know, you always have this feeling, this time of Insta and stuff, that I need at least 1 million likes or 2 million likes, the fear of missing out, FOMO. Trust me, just go from FOMO to ROMO, relief on missing out. That's my term. You heard it here first, so don't copyright it. So go to ROMO. Just be relaxed. My life could be a message for that because, and this is memorable because the day or the month which Shuk's book is released, my wife's second book is also released by the same publisher, that is Penguin Random House. So in one way, my bitter or better half is already written for me what I'm supposed to write. And Srini sir also knows my writing capability because I might go in a different tangent. River, you're already taken care of. My daughter is also your age and is mostly in college. She's 20 years old and I'm 50. So if I can be here, standing here, that is the story and narrative of our own culture. Never ever feel that you are missed out in anything. Okay, that I've joined the wrong degree, I've joined this thing, oh, I wish I was there, I wish I was there. You are perfectly where you are. 1.8 billion people, out of that, 1.4 billion, that is, you're born in this great country. Out of that, you are in this great city of Bangalore. And out of that, imagine you're the chosen few to be sitting in front of this galaxy of stars out here. How lucky are you?
ಇನ್ನು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ವಿವಿಧ ಶಾಲೆಗಳ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳನ್ನು ಆಹ್ವಾನಿಸಲಾಗಿತ್ತು. ನಾನಾ ಕಡೆಗಳಿಂದ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದಂತಹ ಹಲವಾರು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಶುಭಾಂಶು ಶುಕ್ಲಾ ಅವರನ್ನು ಗಗನಯಾನ ಹಾಗೂ ಬಾಹ್ಯಾಕಾಶದ ವಾಸ್ತವ್ಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕುತೂಹಲಕಾರಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿದರು.
How did you stay motivated during the difficult times?
Eventually motivation will come. Something will happen, you will again get motivated. But when you are demotivated and don't feel like doing something, that is the time that you have to do it. You still have to do it. That is what will ensure that you do something for a long period of time, continuously. And then you get the return. Then you understand. So, I like to say that universe, it rewards compounding. So when you put little effort every day, regularly, you get a lot of return, but there has to be sustained, continuous effort. So motivation will not always be there. So when it is not there, still go and do it.
What is biggest challenge you faced while in space?
It is not as simple and not as easy as we think, when we are up ground. It is a very complex, very challenging situation. Continue in that one direction, have patience and keep moving on. Like Papa sir said, enjoy what you are doing while you are going towards that direction.
If readers finish the last page of the book, The Second Orbit, and remember one message from the entire book, what would you want that message to be?
That things will happen if you continue to work towards it. That is what my message is, in one line. But read that page, that is exactly the message that I want all of you to take back home. Believe, things will work out if you put in the work.
What did you love the most and hate the most in space? Both of us.
Love the most is just the feeling, two things. One thing is you feel a lot of things internally, physiologically in your body because you reach space. And none of that is good. Everything is bad. You have headache, you have nausea, you feel bad, you have backache. All of these problems happen because your body is adjusting to this new environment of microgravity. So in the initial 4 or 5 days, it is really challenging. You don't feel good at all. First few days.
ಇನ್ನು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾದಂತಹ ರವೀಶ್ ಮಲ್ಹೋತ್ರಾ, ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಕೆ ವಿಜಯರಾಘವನ್, ಇಸ್ರೋ ಮಾಜಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದ ಎಎಸ್ ಕಿರಣ್ ಕುಮಾರ್, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಸ್ ಸೋಮನಾಥ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಏರ್ ಮಾರ್ಷಲ್ ಎಸ್ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಜವಾಹರ್ಲಾಲ್ ನೆಹರು ತಾರಾಲಯದ ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿಆರ್ ಗುರುಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಅವರು ಮಾತನಾಡಿ ಗಗನಯಾತ್ರಿ ಶುಭಾಂಶು ಶುಕ್ಲಾ ಅವರ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಸಮಾರಂಭಕ್ಕೆ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿದರು.
ಭಾರತದ ಎರಡನೇ ಗಗನಯಾತ್ರಿ ಶುಭಾಂಶು ಶುಕ್ಲಾ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಇದು ಬಿಡುಗಡೆಯಾಯಿತು. ಈ ಪುಸ್ತಕದ ಹೆಸರು ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ರಾಕೇಶ್ ಶರ್ಮಾ ಅವರು ಭಾರತದ ಮೊದಲ ಗಗನಯಾತ್ರಿ 1984ರಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಂದರೆ 42 ವರ್ಷದ ಹಿಂದೆ ಅವರು ಅಂತರಿಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ತೆರಳಿದರು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದು ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ ಅಂತ, ಮೊದಲ ಕಕ್ಷೆ ಅಂತ. ಇದು ಎರಡನೇ ಕಕ್ಷೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇವರು ಶುಭಾಂಶು ಶುಕ್ಲಾ ಅವರು. ಶುಭಾಂಶು ಶುಕ್ಲಾ ಅವರು ಭಾರತದ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ಪುತ್ರ. ಇವರು ಕಳೆದ ವರ್ಷ ಜೂನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತರಿಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ತೆರಳಿ ಭೂಮಿಯನ್ನು ಅಂತರಿಕ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಸುತ್ತಿ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಅಂತರಿಕ್ಷ ನಿಲ್ದಾಣ ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ISS, ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇವರು ಸುಮಾರು 3 ವಾರಗಳ ಕಾಲ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಸುರಕ್ಷಿತವಾಗಿ ಹಿಂತಿರುಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವರ ಈ ಯಾನ ಇಡೀ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಸಮೂಹವನ್ನು ಪ್ರೇರೇಪಿಸಿದೆ. ವಿಜ್ಞಾನದಲ್ಲಿ, ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನದಲ್ಲಿ, ಗಣಿತದಲ್ಲಿ, ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಆಸಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ವಹಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ವಿಜ್ಞಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಆಸಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ತಳೆದು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶವನ್ನು ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಮತ್ತಷ್ಟು ಎತ್ತರಕ್ಕೆ ತರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಶುಭಾಂಶು ಶುಕ್ಲಾ ಅವರ ಯಾನ ಬಹಳ ಸಹಕಾರಿಯಾಯಿತು. ಆ ಯಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ತಮಗೆ ಕಂಡು ಬಂದಂತಹ, ತಾವು ಗಳಿಸಿದಂತಹ ಅನುಭವವನ್ನು ತಮ್ಮ ಪುಸ್ತಕದಲ್ಲಿ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಪುಸ್ತಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹಂಚಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Ami played a small part in the whole journey, and that's what I am very proud of. I think many of you may not be joining that, may be knowing that it was my role to play to select him for this mission, along with some other people, out of those 4 Gaganyatris that we had, and I am very proud of that we picked the right person for that at this moment. Doesn't mean that the others were not that picked, but then of course we have to choose a person to go. I think that privilege fell on our team, and I was the secretary at that time, and I really helped by many other people to do that, and thank all of them for making that happen. But then there is also a story of flying somebody from India to an international space station mission. I think the question was asked at that time, when we have the Gaganyaan program announced, why we should send somebody to ISS. I think what's the logic, and what are you really going to learn by doing this? And the story goes back that I had a visit at US, and I was with Bill Nelson, the administrator of NASA at that point in time, and he invited me to his office. And we were discussing and showing many of those earlier launches that were did, and he was so very passionate to show me the Apollo module and all that. And we were discussing on possible collaboration in human space mission. And he said that it is one of our dream also to see an Indian flying to International Space Station. And it will be a good idea that NASA gives one of its seat that was destined to fly in taxi information to ISRO, so that you can take up that possibility and then fly.
Today, looking at Shubhanshu, I see the absolute pinnacle of what rigorous military training paired along with unbreakable human spirit can achieve. And that is definitely something for all of us to celebrate. While Shubhanshu as an astronaut may have carried the dreams of a nation, his artist journey is something that should be an inspiration to numerous youngsters all around. An accomplished fighter pilot in the Indian Air Force, he is a fighter combat leader and a test pilot with over 2,000 hours of flying, not just routine, but carrying out testing extreme envelopes on various aircraft in the Indian Air Force. In the Air Force, we teach our pilots to operate at extremities where the margin of error is not just low, but non-existent. Although I haven't had the opportunity to read your book yet, from what I gather from the reviews, the second orbit reminds us of all that invisible foundation that lies behind the flawless spectacle of a launch or a perfectly executed mission. A foundation built on what he calls 1,000 silent breakdowns. It is the discipline to choose destiny over doubt when quitting seems to be the easiest option. From the moment ISRO beckoned him in 2019, his trajectory shifted from the skies to the stars, from the centrifuge models of Moscow to the Axiom Mission 4 to the International Space Station. He has exemplified what it means to push past traditional boundaries. His recent decoration with the Ashok Chakra is a testament to a career defined by absolute consistency under a lot of pressure. What makes the second orbit an essential read, especially for the young students sitting here? It's not merely a space story, it's a test of tenacity. As he poses a hauntingly beautiful question, what if your dream wasn't yours alone? And that is what he spoke about just now. When you sit in a cockpit or a spacecraft capsule, strapped onto an incredible machine, you do not fly alone, but carry the weight of a nation's sovereign ambitions. So for all the young minds here, this book is your reflection to ponder, not just how high or how far you can go, but how long you can maintain the resolve when the going gets tough.
This book is going to probably bring out and showcase to you is something we need to understand. See, not today, the world has changed so much, and most of us are looking at video activities and then whatever is happening is all seen in a visual display mode. But what is the fundamental difference between when you come to know of things through video versus when you come to know things from a book? The basic difference I see is when you read a book, the visualization happens through your asli intelligence, which creates, based on the words, what you want to visualize. So it is your opportunity to actually create a visual outcome of what you read. And this is what makes the difference between what you see in a video. In a video, it's already there. You are only a witness to that. But when you read in the book, you have the freedom of creating the visual aspect of that. And that is what makes it, for every individual, the same book can bring out very different perspectives and very different aspects of life the way you want to see it. And I should really compliment Shubhanshu Shukla for taking time and then bringing out, because as he already pointed out, it is also not possible for him to be practically present across the country, talking to all the students and all the public and telling them about what he experienced or what he went through and what is behind his own experience. Because the book actually makes it accessible, not only accessible the way he has narrated it, but accessible by the way people want to imagine through what is written. So I really compliment him for doing this in such a quick time, because the sooner the things are penned down, like he already said, that many things he might forget, not because his memory is going to get affected, but because he gets actually involved in so many newer activities, and those activities might change his actually priorities of what he is doing.
With a big round of applause, please, I will request all the dignitaries to unveil the book, The Second Orbit.
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು, ತುಂಬ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಥರ ಇತ್ತು. ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೋನಮಿ, ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೀಸ್ ಅ ರಿಯಲಿ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್, ಐ ಫೀಲ್ ರಿಯಲಿ ಪ್ರೌಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ಯಾ, ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಫನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರಿಯಲಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್.
ಸರ್, ನಾವು ಮುಂದೊಂದು ದಿನ ಅವ್ರ ಥರನೇ ಆಗಿ ಈ ಥರ ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೂ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ತಾಣಲಿ ಅಂತ ಥರ ಭರವಸೆ ಮೂಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್.
Today we are at Bangalore Planetarium, and at the occasion of launching my book in Bangalore. We did this event in Delhi some time back, but wanted all the people who are working with me to be as a part of it, and very happy the event went well. I've decided to pen down my experience of this entire journey and also my journey from the classroom to space in the form of a book, so that it is accessible to everybody in the country. I hope that it is able to inspire the next generation and pursue their dreams and goals and contribute to the nation building.